Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alaracanfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now global series. This is the launch of our spring-summer 2021 series. Oh my goodness. And in a few days, today's the 11th, so on the 13th, you're going to see a memory come through on Facebook, because that's when I first launched my very first telethon. It was on May 13th. I don't know when. Don't ask me what year it was. 2013. It was 2013. Yeah. But it was May 13th, I think, on 2013. It's like, it's crazy, and so I'm still here, still doing this. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. And here we are launching a new series. And how did I get so lucky? How, I'm still, so baffled by how this all came to be. And I remember asking the angels at that time, saying, angels, I want something else. I want to do something different. I want to do something that really makes, be of service, because I didn't feel like I was being of service in the government, right? So I was like, I want to do something that with energy and light and, blah, blah, blah. And, they made it happen. So I'm so grateful. And so because, I was actually, working with the angels at that time, I was talking to the angels, getting guidance from the angels. And so today we're talking with the angels. We're talking with Theresa and the angels. And Theresa is back with us to talk about transcending time and space with the angels. So, it's a huge topic and I'm excited. We're going to talk about how and why our relationship with time is changing. We're going to talk about how to increase our vibrancy by pulling information about our wellness directly from the grid, and how the angels can better assist us as we allow our relationship with time to change. And it already exists, and everything we need is already inside of us. So how can we vibrationally meet it? And we're going to talk about how to access your clarity and guidance with more ease. And for those of you who don't know Theresa, she's been on our show many, many times. We absolutely love her. I think she's so gifted, so talented, so connected to the angels. And I'm always so, blessed that she's here with us. So Theresa is an international speaker, a spiritual teacher, a mentor, a priestess, master of the healing arts, and angelic channel. And she works with people who feel that they should have attended Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters before being sent out into the world, helping them to find the strength in their sensitivities and guiding them in the use of these superpowers. And Theresa is a visionary, a love warrior, and a fierce stand for peace, who is widely regarded as a presence of unconditional love. And in her uniquely effective way, she has been helping people expedite their healing and ascension for over 15 years, calling us into our authenticity and full integrity. And she empowers sensitives, like all of us, to stand in the power of who we really are, so that we can feel more alive, on purpose, and fulfilled. So please, everyone, please join me in opening your hearts and welcoming Theresa back to our show. I'm so glad you're here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me, Alara. I'm so grateful to be here, and on your anniversary week too.
Right? It's like so exciting.
Yeah. And wait, I'm just amazed that you've made it from 2013 and you're only now saying I really need an assistant. So that's pure magic right there.
But now it's like, I really do. So yeah, thank you. And, I have a lot of support, right? But now with everything changing with my husband and so on and so forth, it's like, I need a little bit more support. And my daughter, as most of you know, she has been working with me, but she's too busy with her master's program, for traveling, just living her life. And she's like, I'm too busy, Mom. It's like, okay. So yes, absolutely. And that's, that's also about how time is changing, right? So everything is speeding up. Everything is speeding up. Time is changing, I think, in our favor. And so now part of it has to do with us actually recognizing that and asking for assistance in what we need, right?
Absolutely. In time, it's so frustrating because it's speeding up and it feels like things are going way too quickly. But it's also like, if you just look at the last week, how many lifetimes did you live in the last week? That would have taken you like hundreds of lifetimes before now, so we are working through a lot much more quickly. And for that, we can be grateful. But sometimes it's just like, it almost feels like we're missing our life because everything's moving so quickly, especially now with the way technology is and how we have access to everything and everyone instantaneously. It's a blessing, but it also sometimes keeps us sheltered in a way we would not have been before. And so I think that's for us very key, is to, we shelter ourselves anyway as sensitives, right? So a lot of us walk through our lives feeling like we're not living, or we're not feeling as alive as we could. And so in this time when everything's moving much more quickly, we can actually take a moment to slow ourselves down, to come to center, so that we can stand solid and sovereign at center as everything moves crazily around us. And we can actually slow ourselves down in the face of all of this. And so it's a blessing, and it also is igniting that power within us to bend time to our will, which is always really fun.
I love that concept of being able to bend time, right? And that shows us about really what is real and what is not real, right? If we have the capacity to bend time, then really it's like all those limitations that we thought were fixed, they're not, right?
No, and it's, time is a concept that it's set up to organize our brains in the past, right? As humans on Earth, we needed some, like a ladder, almost a linear way to see from here to there. But now, as we open to more of the depth of our soul, to more of the truth of who we are, we understand, or we have understood, that time is just a concept, and it folds in on itself. Everything exists at the exact same time. So right now, sitting here in this moment, I'm here, my 5-year-old self is here, my past life self is somewhere else. We're all existing at the same time. And it's just a matter of, how do we cross those things successfully, and how can we play with time? And that's really what we're being invited to do, is, how can we play with time? There's so many fun ways to do this, but we can expand time and we can shrink it as needed. And the angels love helping us play with this, so we can always call on them. So if we have 10 things to do and a half an hour to do it, we can just say, angels, I need your help. We need to expand time. And you'll be amazed at how much you get done in that 30 minutes. So this is something that, for spirituality, we're all very serious about it, which is why we're here, which is a beautiful thing. But we also need to remember that the height of spirituality is being in joy. So we need to remember to always be in that place of exploration and of play, and of, like a little kid figuring out how we navigate things through playing with them. And so this is what we're being invited into right now, as we exist with time in a different way. We realize it doesn't really exist. So how are we going to use that to our advantage?
Absolutely. And the thing is, we take things so seriously, right? And if we could just play and not have so much significance, I think things would flow with more ease, and we would actually get more awarenesses that would help us.
Definitely. When we are in that place of ease and joy, and that doesn't mean we're not doing anything, by the way. So a lot of times we use that as an excuse to not follow through on the guidance. But when we're sort of, instead of pushing, we're in that energy where we're sitting back and trusting and flowing the guidance from there.
And that's a tough one, the trusting. Yeah, take your time. But the trusting, sitting and waiting and trusting, I have had issues with that in the past. I've gotten better.
Yeah.
But trusting was definitely one of my big issues. Now it's like not as big. It's like,
No,
okay.
it's not. And it gets easier. It's like a muscle that we flex, right? When we can trust with the little things, all of a sudden we trust with the bigger things. We can trust more with the bigger things as we prove to ourselves, okay, that worked out. And now we can trust with something bigger. And it's important at this time to remember that play and that exploration. So one of the things the angels like to remind us of is dolphins.
Mhm.
I've seen them say this a lot to people. As you seek to grow in your spirituality, remember the dolphins. They hold such a high spiritual frequency. They change everyone who looks at them. Nobody looks at a dolphin and is like, oh gosh, it's a dolphin, right? Everybody gets filled up from the inside.
Mhm.
But dolphins play constantly, and that's not the only thing they do, but they're always jumping and they're always playing. And this is the way they hold that vibration. And so this is the invitation for us, even when we're doing the work that we're here to do, approach it with a sense of play, a sense of spaciousness, because we can grow into that space then. When we are too serious about it, and when we're to like, oh my gosh, the energy constricts, right? And
Yeah.
we start to close ourselves off to guidance and possibilities and potentials that want to come in because our energy flow is constricted. And so that's part of what the angels want us to do now, is to really be in a state of expansion, of creativity as much as possible, so that their guidance and our higher selves guidance can come to us without being impeded in unnecessary ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, is like the information, the wisdom, the energies are always flowing, but sometimes we're trying to control the flow by, by controlling the narrative, right? The more that we can be in flow and allowance and trust, the more easily, the energy is going to flow through us and to us, right?
True. And sometimes the guidance I always know is like true guidance is the guidance that makes no sense. So, and that doesn't mean you act on every bit of guidance if you're not sure. You can sit back and say, okay, I hear this piece of guidance. Let's see if it's really guidance. And if it is true guidance, it will continuously come back, and it will come back in a way that makes us feel safe. It makes us feel grounded and secure. It may make us feel a little uncomfortable because we're not sure how this is going to look, but it won't feel uncomfortable, like make us nervous or anything like that.
Mhm.
There'll be an excitement and a peace underneath that. And so the beautiful thing about all of this is that the more outlandish in my life the guidance is, the more I know it's coming directly from my angels, and it's like, okay, we're coming in for another overhaul now, so let's see what happens. But those are the things, because it's not something I would ever think for myself, so it has to be guidance.
Yeah. And it's always going to be something that's positive and uplifting, not something, negative, or constricting. And right now, especially, like I said, we're in the new moon energies, right? And you were saying that these energies have been intense since the last full moon. So right now, I think they're also, not they, but we are being pushed to step into more of our roles, for lack of a better word, more of our purpose, more, but even those words are so heavy, but it's like, it's more about, it's time for us to like step out of the shadows and just be. Number one, just be and acknowledge who we are and what we're here to do. Some of us are here to do big things. Some of us are here to, just do stuff with our family. It's perfectly fine, but whatever that is for you, just do it. And I'm feeling like we're being pushed in the moment right now to really take that next step.
Definitely. I agree with you, Alara. When our guidance, it doesn't mean our guidance will never be challenging.
Mhm.
Guidance will challenge us, and it will draw out characteristics in us that we didn't know we had. It'll draw out strengths in us that might have been latent otherwise. But again, it will always feel peaceful, just like you were saying. The interesting thing is that when we are just being, right? When we are just being, we are the light at that point. We are being the light. We are holding that vibration. And in that, there can be no shadows, which is what we've been seeing in the last few years. We've been holding our light for so long that there is no place for anything that was hiding in the shadows to hide anymore. So we're seeing all of the stuff that was hiding because we've stepped out, we've committed to holding this light. And so this is where we are now. A lot of people are going through this spiritual crisis of, well, okay, so if this is happening in the world, how can we be holding this much light? And this is why this is happening, because there's no place for this stuff to hide anymore. There are no more shadows. And so now it's like, oh, here it is. What do you want to do with it? How do we address this? And fighting amongst ourselves is not helping, right? So we've tried this now for a year and a half or so. It's not helping. We have to really listen to each other. And this is where the angels can help, particularly Archangel Gabriel, to really transcend time and space, because so much of what we're hearing from each other is not just about what's happening for us now. It's about all this past life stuff, all this fear that we didn't even know we brought up. Like, it's all happening in present time. So the fear, the anger, the shadow, it's coming across time and space for us to hold up our swords of light. And Archangel Gabriel can help us with the communication aspects of it. And Archangel Michael can help us stand in our own strength and our sovereignty, as well as all of the other beautiful angels. But this is what they're showing me right now. I'm not even sure how we got over here, but this is what they want to say, so I go with it. It's really, really important for us to realize that now, that this is where we are, and this is where we need to hold each other in this field of how can we move forward from here with consideration of everyone's point of view, with consideration of how can this world work better for every being living in it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. And it's not just about what's happening out there, but what's happening within you. Your shadow stuff is coming up to be seen, to be seen, to be healed, to be cleared, whatever. But mostly it's about to be seen, so that you have an awareness of it, and then you can change it. And so, that's why it's like, this push is coming, and with the push comes sometimes fear, sometimes resistance, sometimes, that things like, I don't have enough time to do everything. Oh my God, how can I do it all? Right? All of that stuff is coming up for everybody. And it's like, all right, then you get to choose. All right, do I want to be the light, or do I want to be this reaction? There's no judgment, right? So it's like, and that's when you like take a deep breath, call on your angels, like, please help me. I'm a little bit over, it's over my head. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I know I don't use the word overwhelmed very often, but it's a little much in the moment. So I could really use some help, right? And so over the past couple of months, I've asked, right, since November, I've been asking, I need some help. This is too much, and that's why sometimes I've had to take, days off. It's like, I can't do it. I need a break, right? So this is the time when you look at what you can do and when you have to take a break. So honoring that time for yourself when you need a break or when you need more guidance, and ask for that, that's an honoring of you. This is not about you against everybody else or you against yourself even, but it's about how can you honor you and at the same time continue to be the light.
Yeah, and it's so funny because sometimes if we're getting the message from ourselves that we need a break and we're just pushing through and we're not listening, and then we get to that point where we ask our angels or our higher self for guidance, they're like, wait for it. Wait, because what they're doing is providing us with that break.
Yeah,
We're not going to tell you till you're replenished, because they keep saying the world does not need any more exhausted light workers. Mm-hmm. This is not helping right now. They need us, and we need each other to be well sourced and to be able to hold the light and to be in a place where we are energized enough from the inside so that we can receive the guidance and act on it in this paradigm. And the reason time and space is changing is because we are in a moment-to-moment paradigm where we are required to be in the present moment, right? Being in the past and being in the future. That doesn't mean we disregard the past, because we're learning so much from our past. We've learned so much from our past, but we don't live there. We're living in this moment and accessing with that knowledge of the past, the guidance that comes right now. And so this is really important for us. The thing that you said that I really wanted to look at was how the outer world is a reflection of our inner world. Like, there is nothing happening outside of us that is not happening inside of us. And the sooner we clean up all of the stuff happening inside of us as a collective, the sooner our world will be in a more peaceful state, because we need to cultivate that peace, that cleanliness, that sovereignty in our own environment, in the micro, so that we can have it reflected in the macro. So anyone who is upset by the state of the world needs to look within first, because cleaning that up inside of us will actually lead us to, what does the world need from me? How can I show up in the world to help fix this? And this is how we do it. And it's so beautiful because our angels, they're showing me right now, they'll take us by each arm and go within with us, so that we don't have to go there alone. We can be fully supported as we do this work. And so many of us, I mean, everyone that I know here on this call has been fearless in their self-exploration. So this is definitely, we are on the forefront here of going inside and fixing these things.
And sometimes going inside is not always just about fixing, but just going inside and asking questions and getting the awareness. Sometimes that's enough. I have had so many aha moments where I've just asked a question and then gotten the answer and gotten the aha. So it's like, not necessarily a deep healing, clearing needed to be done, but when you get it, you get it, right?
Exactly.
So, but it is imperative. I hate to say the word imperative, but it is essential to go within. And that's why it's like I've been like meditating every day, asking my guides and my angels questions every day. And every day it's always, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I show up even more? What can I do to make this world a better place? What else? And I did get some guidance this morning. So we'll see how I act on that in the next couple of days when I have some free time. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, the awareness is also about making empowered choices.
Yeah.
So, we have, you referred before to this, we have always two choices. The one that takes us towards fear or the one that takes us towards love, right? And sometimes there's a combination of factors. And so what we need to do is ask those questions as we go inside so that when it is time to take an action, we can have the information that we need to take the action that aligns us with the energy that we most want to create on this planet. And for some people, it's very true right now that what they want to continuously create is fear.
Yep.
Because they're operating from their own fear, which will continue the old paradigm way of being, right? The control in that way. But there are so many people that are making choices that are based and rooted in love, because we know that we'll take the best of what worked before and we'll expand on it and we'll restructure it and we'll build something completely new. And we're going on trust and faith because we, anyone in the world who is experiencing this, we have built those muscles of trust, and we have done this in smaller ways in our own life. And now we're ready to do it on the global scale. We're ready to do it on the interplanetary scale. Like, let's go, So this is an exciting time for us. And there's a lot that's been happening, especially in the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so for those of us who have been feeling the energy so intensely, yes, the energies have been intense. The Schumann resonance has been spiking like crazy, and at the same time, we are all doing so much work, right? So every time we sit down to meditate, I'm just going to use the word meditate, but process, do some sort of healing process, do some sort of clearing work. Yeah. Every time we do that for ourselves, we're doing it for the collective, we're doing it for the planet, we're doing it for humanity as well. So for most of us here on these calls are very, very sensitive. So you're going to perceive that, you're going to pick it up. And, so that's going to bring up stuff within you. And, so it's okay, right? So it's always about being gentle with yourself, but always, what is your focus, right? Is your focus on the light, on the love, or is your focus on the fear and the story? And some of you, I know, you would like to say your focus is on the light and the love, but based on your questions, you're still focusing on the fear and the story. But I love you.
Calling you out.
I love you and I get it. But
well, we all go through it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm not going to go into the whole COVID thing very much, but I was talking to my son on Sunday, right? It was Mother's Day. And we were talking, and somehow he told me he had COVID a couple of weeks ago. I was like, what? It's like, how? I said, he's been in quarantine for over a year. Like literally, he came back from Japan in March of last year, and he's been in quarantine at home ever since then. Doesn't go out except for, I guess, to do groceries, right? And so he was sick, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh my God, you didn't tell me. He's like, Mom, I didn't want to worry you. And then, so it's like, but he's better now, right? But he's like, I really get it now, what some of the stories that are coming out of India, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I really get it, because I experienced it myself. And I'm like, okay. But, I told him, I said, okay, well, I'm going to send you some healing energies and all that wonderful stuff. So but I'm glad you're fine now. Right. So I didn't go into the story too much. I didn't go into the drama of it too much, but it's like, so it's like, there is a lot going on in the collective. There's a lot going on in the planet. There are people dying. Absolutely. There are people getting sick. I mean, in my own family, distantly, somebody just passed away. So it is happening. But, for me, I'm not focusing on that too much. Yes, I will send healing energy out. I will send blessings out. I will send unconditional love out to the collective and to anybody who has been challenged with it. But I also know that, there's more going on than just that. We are all changing. We're all growing. We're all evolving. So many of us are being upgraded in this moment right now with, higher dimensional energies and frequencies. And so part of that is also about, yes, what is your part in this? Do you want to, send out love, or do you want to send out fear? And again, I'm sorry if this upsets anybody, and I get it, but please, like, send out love, send out frequencies of healing, of joy, of peace. Yes, stuff is happening, but what is your focus? What do the angels have to say about that kind of thing?
Well, it's really interesting because it's almost like, what do you choose to do with the experience that you're having? So this is the choice. And I can say this from my own personal human experience. We just lost one close family member to COVID. I lost one good friend to cancer that was exacerbated by COVID within 12 hours. And then I also, the next week, lost another family member to COVID. And so it was an invitation for me at the human level to look at, what do I want to do with this, right? Normally, we go into spiritual bypassing mode, get through it, do all the things that you need to do. But, we're still in a time of quarantine. So there's a lot more time to actually feel. And I made the choice with my angels that feeling is one of the most important things moving forward. Because when we can truly feel all the feelings, when we can embrace our range, so when we're not afraid to go into the anger and the sadness, then we can reach the heights of joy and happiness. And so I went into the anger and the sadness. I stayed there. I looked at my own, as a healer, I looked at my own tendency to try to help everybody else before I dealt with what was in me. And I stayed there and I worked through it. And there are still moments where it gets me, but that's what I chose to do with it, in service to, how do I want to move forward on this planet? How do I want to show up? What kind of person do I want to be? And this was with my angels. Like, we were working on this together. And as light workers, as sensitives, we do shy away from our feelings. We do shy away from the depth because we're afraid we can get stuck there, because we didn't earlier in life have people who could help us navigate out of it, or could navigate themselves out of it, which ended up getting us stuck there as well. So it's like, they say in recovery, face everything and recover, like, that's it. Like, when we face everything, we can create what's next for ourselves. So if we're here to anchor the energy of joy, like the dolphins, and the energy of high spirituality through play, we can't get there if we're not feeling the anger and the sadness, because we're dulling ourselves here. So we're dulling ourselves here, right? We're just dulling all over the place. So that's what the angels are inviting us to have more of an experience of being alive here and now, of grounding onto this planet. Because when we all had the choice to come here, we all raised our hand, because there is so much experience of life that we can have here. Good, bad, ugly, all of it. And we all signed up for it because there aren't many other places where you can feel this many things. And so that's really important. It's also important for us to look at, in the last couple weeks since the last full moon, there's been a tremendous Kundalini surge connected with the divine feminine. So how that looks in the physical body is, a lot of people have been experiencing bleeding issues. And so if you're one of these people who's experienced bleeding issues that aren't normal for you at this time, that's just something that's been happening as the collective has this Kundalini surge, has an access to a stronger energy. Because those of us who've been moving through this last year or so, really looking to deepen our spirituality through using the experience we're having, versus all of those people who got thrown into having this spiritual awakening that they didn't want. Now they're awakening. And so this energy can flow more for the collective. So it also just felt important to acknowledge that, because I know I've been hearing over and over, oh my God, it's so weird this is happening. And that's what's been happening.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and so somebody else mentioned it earlier on my group call with, about that as well. So it's like, it's interesting that so many people are experiencing that, and it's okay, right? So it's weird, it's different, but it's okay. Um,
Yeah, but definitely, with any physical issue that we experience during an awakening, it's always good to get it checked out by a professional so that we can then relax and know what it's not.
Yeah.
So many of us resist that. And then there's always like this worry about, oh, what if, what if, what if? Let's just know what it's not so that we can focus on then putting all of our energy into the spiritual awakening.
And speaking of spiritual awakening, just really quickly, that there are weird things that happen. I used to experience all sorts of weird different things with my body, and I would go to the doctor. It's like, all right, after a while, but I did go, and they're like, no, you're totally fine, you're perfectly healthy. Okay, cool. So some things lasted a day, a few days, some things lasted weeks. To the point where I was like, I cannot do anything. I have to call my mom to take care of the kids, and like I don't know what to do. And then right after that, it shifted. Like then I was fine. It's like, okay, thank you. Right. So it can, but like Theresa said, always get it checked out. But it is normal, so it's not something that people talk about very often, but not in this community anyway. So if you're doing yoga and things like that, if you're doing a lot of meditation and stuff like that, people will talk about it, but it's still different for everybody. It's never the same. Okay, so we have lots of people with their hands raised and questions in the chat. You want to take some questions, Theresa?
Sure.
It's always so much fun. I was talking about you on my group call, saying Theresa's on today and she is amazing, and she's like, on point, and she's so connected to her angels. You definitely want to come on and ask a question. I don't know if any of them are here right now. I'm sure there are, but it's like, you must ask. All right, so Caroline, go ahead. You want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Oh, sweet Caroline.
Hi. I don't even know if I have a question. I'm listening. I'm going, yep, that's right. I don't have any physical symptoms. I'm in a peaceful place. I guess the only thing is okay. Confirmation of this farm that I keep seeing and these horses that keep coming my way.
I love it. I love this. I definitely see you having this connection with nature, creating this space for people to come and recharge and renew. And horses are connected to the crown chakra. So, of course, they're going to be there. They're going to be the retreat leaders, so to speak. But yeah, they are total crown chakra energy. So just like we're talking about dolphins, different animals relate to different chakras, and horses are the crown chakra. And so it also feels like you have horse spirit guides, like your spirit animals. And so I see they're telling me they're not just regular horses. Your spirit animals are wild horses. So that's what I'm seeing. And like almost unicorns also. So there's definitely a lot of that energy. So I definitely see you having some sort of space set up for this at some point. And it just feels like, when do you want to do that? And do you really want to do that? Those are the questions. Does that make sense?
I'm retiring this September, so I think that's the wait period here. Yes, I know, right? Yeah. And I feel like I'm being prepared now, and I'm doing a lot more yoga than I did. I've lost 20 pounds. I'm on a physical. I feel like my physical body's getting ready for all that. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Nice. Awesome. Good. Thank you, Caroline. Wow, love it.
Mhm.
You'll have to tell us how you lost 20 pounds.
Keto, mostly keto.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
All right. So, Destiny, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Okay. I am working through trying to stay out of the fear. Totally trying to go into my heart, because I realize that when I go into my heart, that kind of stops the attacks that I've been having for the last 4 years. Now I understand that this attachment is here to help me empower myself, but I'll be honest with you, I don't get a break. There is no break. So I guess I'm wondering, what exactly is the dynamic with this attachment that I'm supposed to work through. If the angels could help me to kind of understand this a little bit more, to make it easier for me to get through this transition.
So what I'm seeing is two things for you. It feels like the blessing that's come from this is that you've found refuge in your heart. That's the blessing of all of it. And the truth is, in all spiritual teachings, the only time we can't be hurt is when we are fully in our heart, when our heart is fully open. And for various reasons, we close off the energy of our heart. So it feels like at the end of the day, this is part of your destiny, so to speak, is that you are here to live with an open heart. And seeking refuge in there is like a good early step. Now it's just, how do I expand that? It also feels like then when you can fully stand sovereign in your heart center and trust that you are protected there, then all you say is, leave. You need to leave, and it goes. Because it feels like the dynamic is the agreement to help you find your heart center and stay rooted there. How does that feel to you, Destiny? Does that feel true?
I don't know. That feels kind of crazy, because I know there are times where literally when I try to go into my heart, I have to push beings out of my heart because they're standing there. So, and then there are times where I have to clear my body to get these beings out, because they literally mess with me so bad I can't take it. And it's hard to stand in your heart and be in your sovereign heart when you're fighting things off just to feel comfortable in your body.
Have you called on Archangel Michael to lead the way in as you go into yourself?
No, well, I mean, I do. When it's really bad, I will call on the angels. I will call on other things, but most of the time I just try to work through myself. But yeah, this has not been an easy task. This is not like they're not like beings that are just there to show me and then they're just easily walking away. They're almost like fighting me through it, all of it.
Yeah, no,
they're not nice.
I don't mean to minimize your experience. Like, that's not what we're doing here. What I do want to just say, though, is exactly what you just said is something that we all do. The angels are there for us all the time. Our beings of light are there for us all the time to help us. In fact, our angels' life purpose is to help us to be in peace. And we can call on them for anything and everything. But so many times we choose to take the difficult route and do it ourselves. So this is the message for you. Call on us. Let us help you. Let us walk with you. And it does feel like the path is cleared before you. That's what they're saying now. Archangel Gabriel is saying the path will be cleared before you. And so that's the invitation for you, is if it feels resonant, to call on your angels and have them lead the way when you're going into yourself. And it feels like it gets a lot easier if and when you do choose to do that.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you,
I
Destiny.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and so often we try and do everything on our own, right? We do. Let's face it, we don't ask enough. Yeah, it's totally normal. We get it. All right, Shama, you want to unmute yourself? Shama? Going once. Girl. No.
Hey. Oh my goodness. I had to,
it's okay. I had to put the pressure on to get you to unmute, so it's all good.
Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Theresa. Hello, everyone. We're having a really still wintry day here in Toronto, girl.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It's 30 degrees here today. It was 30 degrees here today.
Oh, well, we still have the sun creeping through. It's been lovely. And thank you. Everything Theresa has been talking about is kind of making sense. And then you're confirming things over there. So I believe this is happening everywhere. And
so what's your question, Shama?
So my question is, being conscious of that. I do have a dog.
Lots of people still with hands raised.
And I do go out a lot, and I do believe that she's an angel. And I just wanted to have some clarification and or some confirmation in that I step out every day and I just get connected to people, and um, I do speak the truth, as in what's happening here and now. And um, I just wanted to know if like I'm on the right path in that sense, because I do get passionate about that. And just the other day, I was kind of guided again, to go into the park. And there were two young men who were having a bite at the table. And went away for about a half an hour and came back, and they were still there. So I approached them and I made a joke about their 10-course meal, which led into a conversation, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it turned out that they were Abraham and Jacob. And they came to the park to spread the fellowship word of Jesus. So I am I'm a motivator, and I don't really sit and talk to my angels. And I think I'm at the place where I'm a little bit scattered on to how to get on track with that, because I have a little bit of a spaz out memory, and I find it very hard to stay on schedule with really.
Okay, so I missed the
knowing-
question.
So
Shama. I totally
so the
missed what the question is.
So the question is, sorry, Alara, thank you, Theresa. The question is that I'm getting about there, how do I know that that's the right path I'm following, and know that my angels are guiding me to connect with the people I'm connecting with, and to stay with that, because I'm developing something here as my spiritual.
Okay, Theresa. what
So
you got?
it's the synchronicities, right? When the synchronicities begin to happen, when we start meeting people that we feel like we were destined to meet, or, there's that moment of joy, like these people told you their names and what they were there to do, and you had that moment of like just upliftment inside of you. Those synchronicities indicate to us that we are on the right path. Things like that, those are the markers, the breadcrumbs that our angels lead to show us, keep going this way, keep going this way. And synchronicities can happen when we bring ourselves totally into the moment. So that's what they're showing me. Meditation, the definition of meditation is being in the moment. And when you are talking to people, you are fully present with them. You are fully in the moment, and you are in your center and your peace, and you are rippling that energy out. Even when you're passionate, like the world right now needs people who are passionate about being world changers, about changing the things that aren't working. And so that passion is part of what is needed in us right now. For too long, as light workers, we've sort of shoved the passion down, and now it's like, nope, the fire needs to come out. So that feels really important.
So yes, you're on the right path, Shama. Keep going.
All righty. Okay, I've just got to go and see who my angels are, eh?
Yep, just ask the angels. Just, you can ask for names, you can ask for guidance, you can invite them in.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. All
Awesome.
right.
Thank you, Shama.
You're welcome, Doc. Thank you.
All right, Linda. So Linda, I got your email, by the way, and I'm going to take action on that this week. Just saying, I did get it. So yeah, thank you.
Great. It was no acknowledgement, and I'm going, oh, I hope she got it. I wasn't sure you got it. Yeah,
It's been a crazy week, as you know. So yeah, yes. We can't hear you now. Move the hand or something. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So Theresa, so good to see you again.
You too.
Here's my question. I am looking ahead, and I'm looking into doing something called zone technique therapy. Would that be something that the angels would think would be really useful at this point in time for people?
It's so interesting, because when you said it, they're like your cells lit up. So it feels very resonant to you. It also feels like it's something either related to something you've studied in past lifetimes, but what it feels like it does is it opens you up to all this wisdom from past lifetimes, from past learnings that comes at the same time. And any technique that is going to help the world heal, whether it be a person, an animal, the planet, that is absolutely needed right now. And so they're saying, hold on to your socks, because it feels like this opens up so much for you. Like whatever it is, it starts the process and it's just like all of this other stuff opens as well.
Okay, can I ask one other question? Okay, so this week I did something that I wasn't going to do, but I decided I should because of circumstances at home. So am I on the right path with this trust issue that I'm working on right now? It's an important question.
And it's
Yeah.
so vague.
Yeah, it's okay.
They'll get it.
It's okay.
Your angels know. So here's what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is just be careful about your own motives for doing some things. Like, is it for the purpose of moving forward, or are you dipping into old patterns of over caretaking and overextending yourself? So they just want you to get really conscious of the very subtle energies around actions you're taking. And if you can be 99.9% in I'm doing this for the betterment of everyone and everything, then those are the right actions. But it feels like if there's even a 0.2% chance that there's other energy, like you're being called to clean this up on the very subtle level for yourself. Because as you go deeper into your work as a healer, this all needs to be clean completely so that you can stand more unshakable in those situations. Make sense?
Yes, thank you so much. And one other thing, I know this is a weird one, but many years ago, probably about 30 or 40, I had a dream one morning. And in the dream, I was in this crystal, just gorgeous pyramid. And I could feel it and I could walk in it. And there were like 5 or 6 women walking with me through this pyramid. And at the door, it said, everyone who enters here must get hugged and loved. And this pyramid was so cool because on top of the pyramid, there was a crystal. And underneath the crystal was a chakra wheel that sprinkled light through the whole pyramid crystal. And I know I was a part of it. I don't know what lifetime that was. If it's even a future lifetime.
Awesome. That's awesome. So this is actually something that Archangel Michael has channeled, this exact pyramid structure, to us to use as a tool. So I would be connecting with Michael, especially with your healing, because this feels like a combination of several lifetimes, but there's a big Atlantean lifetime. And it also feels like the Magdalene energy as well. So those two stand out, but there's like a couple more in there as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't mean to take up so much time, but I appreciate you very much. Thank you, Alara.
Thank you, Linda.
Very
love you too. Thank you. Okay, so 1 second here. All right, how are we doing? I did not forget all you wonderful people in the chat. I just have to like find the messages. I'm bad with like finding messages in the chat. It just takes me a while. 1 second. But there was something from Arietta. She said, please take my question. I have received someone's symptoms. Occipital neuralgia. My whole head is painful and my eyes blurred. Thank you. I'm gonna let you go with that.
So the first thing I see is Archangel Raphael. So calling on Archangel Raphael to be in your space of healing, like that's number one. Because when we take on other people's symptoms, there's something in us that is resonant with those things. So there's something there for you to heal within yourself also. So that's number one. Number two feels like this is an invitation to you, because it feels like your energetic system is stomping its foot on the ground and saying, no more, we're not doing this anymore. This is not healthy for you. And so this is an invitation for you to stand in your sovereignty. We've used that word a lot today, to stand in alignment with yourself, to call on your guides and your angels to surround you and to say, if there is any energy in my field that is anyone else's, you must be gone now. You must go back to where you've come from. And if that is not in service to the light, then I ask that my angels take this energy for transmutation. And that is it. And then what will happen is Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael will fill your system with light that will take the place of any energies that have been removed. So this is an invitation, not a comfortable invitation, but these are the ways that we really see what needs to be adjusted.
Beautiful, thank you. Angela, great question. Angela says, can we agree with our angels on specific symbols when we need assurance that we are on the right path? Sometimes we ask for help and do not see progress.
That's like what we were talking about before, where, we are pushing, and then we're asking for guidance and they're like, wait for it, like take a break. So you can ask your angels, I would love to see whatever it is, a butterfly, a cloud that looks like this, a feather, those are some of the ways they like to play with us. Another thing they like to do when they start working with us is like move things around in our space. So if you find your keys missing constantly, that might be your angels. So definitely play with this. And Angela, this seems like your angels are saying, yes, we want you to move back into more play, because it feels like you've gotten a little bit serious about some things. And for the things that you're asking for movement on, you need to be in a more receptive state where your energy is more open.
Awesome, thank you. Martin, I'm going to say Martin, it sounds like a French name to me, so we're going to go with Martin. What about having to shift stuff for the collective? I was told that I'm a collective empath. I don't want to do it right now because I feel overwhelmed. I've tried to do a decree a few times, but I'm not sure it worked. What else can I do?
Yeah. So yeah, empaths feel for the collective big time. And even people who aren't necessarily empaths, like I think everyone in the last year has felt things on behalf of the collective, because there's all this stuff coming up that's in deep resonance with what we're clearing inside of ourselves, like we were talking about before, like Alara was saying. But for you specifically, Martine, I see that for most of your life, all of this energy from outside of you has been pressing on you, and keeping your own aura really small, starting with energy in your home when you were small. So you learned basically that the smaller my energy is, the less I take on. And so now this is still happening, and this is getting closer and closer and closer. Again, the invitation is what needs to shift here. This isn't working anymore. Your aura needs to expand. And what happens is when you expand your light, when you expand your spirit, it pushes this collective energy away. So the visualization they're showing me is you sitting and breathing. And with each exhalation, your energy field gets bigger and bigger. And they're saying small is not serving you anymore. Bigger and bigger. And just see your own energy, as powerful as it is, pushing all of this energy away from you. And then what you can do is you can make, if you are willing to be empathetic for feelings and things that you can assist with, you can set boundaries with your guides and with your own energy field. That you're willing, if you can assist with a situation, you're willing to feel it. If you are not part of the solution, then you don't want anything to do with it. So, however that looks for you, if you are willing at all, just let it be known. If you're not willing, then just say, I'm done for now. I need to feel better. And so that feels really important. I hope that helps.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so we're almost at the top of the hour, so I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about the special offer that you have for us this time around. And of course, it includes a personal reading with you, which is like, as we just saw how amazing you are. It's like, you're like, oh, amazing, awesome, I love it. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then if we have time, we can come back and do a few more questions. But the special offer is at alara.at/show/Theresa5. Okay, I'm going to put the link in the chat for people if they would like to click on it as well. All right, so it includes a 30-minute personal angel reading with you, Theresa, right? And a group angelic support session, plus a meet and heal with the angels live 3-part course. And I think this course, right now, a lot of people still need to know how to work with their angels. So this is awesome.
Yeah, this is really exciting. So the one-on-one reading, I'm very excited about, because this is one of the last times I'm going to be offering that for a very long time. So I'm not going to be doing one-on-one readings for a while. So if you did want one, this is the time to get it. And so that's really important. And those are so much fun, and they're such a blessing. The angels are just so incredible with each of you, and I'm so blessed to be part of those. And then the group angelic support session is a combination of reading and energy therapy for the group. So we'll go into a group reading, and then the angels will bring forth healing energy to heal things specific to each individual as well as specific to the group. And the group field really helps those things to move very quickly. And those are always super powerful. And then I'm so excited about the Meet and Heal with the Angels course, because this is a course that I've given live and I haven't been able to do it in a while. And so I've taken it to Zoom, and there's new updated information, and it's just amazing. We're going to go through each of the archangels, and we're going to travel to meet with them so that we can experience their energy, and we can also experience how we interpret their energy so that we can better recognize each one when they show up in our lives. There will also be information about each angel, so you'll know exactly what their specialty is and how they present. And you'll also receive an invitation to deepen with them. And so you could feel the ones that you're most resonant with now, and you can invite them to deepen in relationship to you. So I'm super excited about this course. It's been, people have been asking for it for a long time, so I'm excited to bring it.
Awesome. And that's live again on Zoom, right? And the group angelic support session is live on Zoom as well, right?
Let me see. I'm not sure if my assistant moved it over to Zoom.
Yeah.
It's usually a call, but it might be a call via Zoom. So it'll either be a call or a call via Zoom.
Awesome. And then the personal session with you, it can be by Zoom or phone or.
Yeah, that will be an audio, generally by phone. But if you're international and that's a problem, we could do Zoom, and it's always recorded, and you'll have the recording afterwards.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. Good. So all of that is available for you at alara.at/show/Theresa5. And like Theresa said, this is probably the last time that you'll get a chance to work with Theresa one-on-one. So I would definitely do it.
For at least a couple of years.
For a couple of years. Oh my goodness. Okay, good to know. Good. So again, it's available for you at alara.at/show/Theresa5. All right. So please do take a look at it. Please do work with Theresa more in depth, and you'll be just so blessed, finding out more about the angels, connecting with the angels, getting healing from the angels, and getting a reading from Theresa and the angels as well. All right, awesome. So that is there. All right, so Theresa, do you have time to take just a few more questions?
Yeah, I defer to you. It's your show, whatever you are comfortable with.
Yeah, because I figure, like when you come on the show, I know people like to get readings rather than a process per se, right? So it's like, I'm happy to do, what serves everybody.
Great. Drink break. What are you drinking?
It's just tea.
Ah.
It's just tea.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes, it's just tea. All right. So, and then, maybe, usually when you do these readings, it hasn't happened today so much, but you always bring through, or the angels bring through some sort of process as well that we can all use for whatever the question was, right? So like maybe that's still coming.
Somebody wrote a message earlier that they had a question, but they were receiving energy. So yeah, it is happening.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that was Martin, but I could be wrong. It could have been somebody else. Okay. So Sherry. So yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like, I'm receiving energy. So are you willing to receive energies from the angels? Right. Open up your heart and say yes.
Yeah. That's all we need to do. We complicate it. So
yeah, exactly. Sherry, do you want to ask your question? Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Hi, Theresa.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, this is great. This is the conversation at the beginning was awesome. Um, so I'm working with the whales and the dolphins, and I'm wondering if they have, or the angels have, any messages in terms of where I need to go from here with them.
Beautiful. So it's so funny because the angels always show me visuals that bring me to joy and happiness. And so I'm seeing, Finding Nemo where Dory speaking whale. That's what I'm seeing right now. So but it just feels like it brings you so much into your heart and into your joy and the sound vibrations that
Yes.
come through. It's like they instantly clear energy fields. And that's kind of what I feel your next step is with them. It's using their song, using their sound somehow, even if they're just being transmitted through your aura, that you're clearing large energy fields. Whether it be, I don't know, landmarks or for groups or even for individuals where you can just use their energy to push misaligned energy right out of the energy field. Does that resonate for you? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Holy yes, I've got goosebumps all over, and yes, that is exactly what I've been feeling, but I haven't been able to put that into a practice, so to speak. But that's exactly what I'm feeling I'm meant to do. I just haven't figured out how to go about.
They'll
Or
show
if
you
that's
exactly how to do
okay.
it. They'll show
Just
you
follow
exactly what you need to do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is so exciting. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Sherry. I love it.
Thanks, Laura.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Alara, I'm seeing Pat over there in all his joy. So
Yeah, he's next.
take his hand.
He's next. Yeah, Pat, go ahead. Yeah.
I just wanted to most sincerely express my appreciation for both of you and putting this on and being here and being present for us. Most sincerely. I'll try and keep it short. It's a long and laborious path that I've taken. Walked away from the automotive field downstate Michigan to go up north into the boonies to be closer to aging parents, and figured I'd find my path because I feel like I'm a healer, and with my volunteering efforts, I decided to go to school, flush the engineering degree and go for a master's of social work so I can help with at-risk youth. And I've really been battling administration up in the woods up here because it's all archaic, all punishment, all confrontation as far as dealing with jails and the like. And I've done volunteering work, jail ministry, and working with clients, and really connect to the clients and feel good about what I'm doing there. But the administration and the powers that be up here have just been, my throat chakra has just been restricted and choked from a lot of archaic and backwoods kind of thoughts and considerations that have really been frustrating me and shackling me. And just wanted to see what kind of vibe you're getting about the scenario.
Yeah, so I definitely see you at this point in your life needing to be in a lighter energy, because they're showing me that part of what you were doing before is it was almost you were acting like a death doula, so to speak, for the automotive industry, and then you're dealing with aging people. So it's like you're holding the energy there for the transition into what's next. But it just feels like there's only so long a person can do that with the heaviness before the desire for something lighter comes again. And, I do remember this in my own experience where I had aging family members and an aging pet. And when they all transitioned, it was like, all of a sudden there was this youthful energy that could come back. And it definitely feels like swimming upstream. I've heard this a lot from people who are stuck in the administrative ways of the old energy. So what you need is to put yourself into a situation where there is new paradigm energy. At this point, working in an institution like that by yourself, being the sole light worker trying to shift the energy is not serving. You need more fuel. And so it feels like, for now, if you're going to stay there, make sure that you refuel yourself in some way. But definitely, it feels like you're looking for something lighter. So open to looking for something lighter. Like, I even see this is an energetic that they're showing me. This isn't where you're going to end up. Like, I see a cupcake shop. That's the energetic. Does that make sense to you, Pat?
No, not particularly. It's just quite a thought, that's for sure.
Exactly.
But yeah,
So it's like the energy of that, as opposed to the dense, heavy
Right.
energy of,
right.
and I see your joy around connecting with people. So how can I do this very powerful work? How can I set it up so that I'm in? So for example, a friend of mine who is a social worker and does a lot of work, she's a therapist also, she just set up a coaching business so that she has more autonomy, has more freedom. So is there a way that you can make what you love, take it and process it in a lighter format?
Yeah, that's a thought, and that's what I've been really working on, my connection to divine light and love of my angels, and trying to keep my heart open, because with all the pushback and with all just being driven down and kept quiet and shackled, my heart has just constricted and darkened so much, and I'm really fighting to bring that open and become in touch with divine light and love. And I'm really struggling, but that lightness really connects with me right now.
And I feel
And
like
I
it's
know-
time to pivot is the word that I'm getting for you, Pat. It's time to pivot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that
like, the Friends thing with the couch pivot. So if you haven't seen that episode, but I feel called, because this isn't just for you, Pat, this is for so many of us here who are in a situation that's similar. What I'm seeing is, first of all, what we've seen today from you is not a closed heart. You're shining, you're open, because you're here, you're in this energy. But I also see like all this gunk that just needs to be removed from the throat chakra. So here it is, Alara. Are you willing to let Archangel Gabriel come in and help with this?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So what I need you to do is really breathe, all of us, breathe into your throat, because this is one of the light worker things that we do is because we've learned that we're too much. We've learned that speaking isn't appropriate sometimes. And so what we do is we swallow our words and we hold it. So he's actually taking, it looks like tar out of our throat center. So just breathe into the throat and let it go, and let any energy, don't worry about how dense it is, how dark, how angry, let it go, even if it's joy that you didn't express. And I see two beautiful white fire angels coming to place this energy into our throats. I just keep letting it go. And so this white fire energy, what it will do is it will transmute the words that we are saying in a way that they can be received as powerful by others. So they'll fly through the white fire and be purified and be brought to a vibration where they can reach the heart of whoever it is we're speaking to. Good. Now I'm just going to expand this energy through the aura, because what Pat's bringing for us is there's a lot of clearing in the mental and emotional bodies around this from earlier in life. So we're going to let it go. Just going to expand as much as we can. There we go. So Pat, for you, there's something that happened when you were about 7 that really taught you to hold in your words and your truth, especially when you're angry or upset. So we're just going to, there we go, go on. So what I'm seeing now is Gabriel will continue to bring energy here. And it feels like for the next 3 nights, while we are in our dream time as well, Gabriel and our healing angels will come in and clean up anything that comes forward. So for any of us who have earlier in life experiences that have been released, it feels really important for us to be the adult that that child needed at that time. So, you know, in the case that we just said with Pat, be the adult that 7-year-old Pat needed at that time, and just go in and nurture your energy in that way. And so we're all invited to do the same thing. Whew.
That was so powerful. My God, I was burning up. As soon as you started, like the energy around my neck and throat was intense.
We're like the La Brea tar pits of unsaid words.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you doing, Pat?
I felt my heartbeat and a pulsation throughout my throat, but that's exactly what I've felt up here, just being restricted, and just like that 7-year-old, just told to shut the heck up and go away. Where I have words, and I have wisdom, and I have healing, and I there's no such thing for me as fight or flight. It's all fight, baby. I mean, that's all I got in me, and that's what I intend on doing, and that's all I know is to keep swinging.
Can you say that again? I have words. I say that what you just said, and say it loud and with conviction.
I have words, and they need to be said, and they need to be brought to the table, and they need to be there for healing.
And one more, just repeat this. I own my wisdom.
I own my wisdom.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Many,
Awesome.
Many blessings and appreciation.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you. Lots of releasing, lots of shifting, and like Theresa said, this is going to continue for a while. Okay, so be gentle with yourself. And yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was so intense. Thank you. My goodness. Okay, so take a deep breath, everyone. Have a drink of water or something. Right,
That's
Denise?
on this side.
Yeah, Denise, I know you wrote something in the chat a while ago.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Theresa.
Hi.
I'm glad to be here with Alara and you today. I had signed up for one of your sessions like a week ago and I missed it. So I'm happy to see you today.
Good to see you.
And I wanted to just check with the angels and see if they have a message for me.
Anything specific, Denise?
Well, no, just kind of what they see for me. I'm at a crossroads right now. I have things packed and I need to move from the place where I'm living and don't really know where I'm heading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Denise, for you, what it feels like is you're such a sensitive empath that you have spent a lot of your life responding to other people's needs. And so what I'm seeing and what they're showing me is that you are not in touch necessarily with what you desire. So it's almost like someplace will open up, but you don't really know what you want in a place. So this is what they want for you. And Archangel Gabriel is taking the lead on this also. They want you to step into claiming what you want. What do you desire? What do you desire in a place to live? What do you desire in relationships in your life? They really want you to get in touch with that at this point in your life, because it feels like you have a lot of living left to do, and they want you to start taking the reins, so to speak, so that you can begin bringing in exactly what you want to make your life as joy-filled as possible, so that you don't have to just be blown by the wind and respond to other people's needs anymore. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I've been trying to create that for myself.
Good.
Actually, yeah. Create the place that I want to live, a better place actually that I'm living now and have been living. A
Good.
better
So,
place for me
so
with all
give
the
us
things that
3
I want.
words for how you want to feel in your new space.
Well, how I want to feel
in your new space.
Joyful, spacious, and I like the outdoors, so space for the outdoors as well in my new space.
Okay. So joyful, space to expand, and a place to be outdoors. So that feels like it would be very balancing for you. So there's your words. So now those are your words that you're going to really focus on. You can add to them if you want, but look at this every day. Look at this, read them to yourself every day so that you can start really embodying those energies in your field. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I thought I actually found the place, but it fell through. So I guess the universe has something better for me.
Someplace better is being prepared.
Awesome.
Good. Yay.
Thank you, Denise. I love your picture, by the way.
Thank you. There are 2 beings I took a picture of in my rose quartz crystal bowl.
Nice.
Nice.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to, 1 second. We're gonna go to Odile. She said, I would love some advice regarding my next job.
So interesting. I'm it's so funny because this is like the focus, joy. Like they keep saying joy. And what your guardian angel is saying now is like, just make sure it's something you like. Just make sure it's something that brings you joy. So just like we were talking about with Denise, how do you want to feel every day when you go to work? How do you want to feel when you come home, or when you're finished with your workday? How do you want others to feel because of what you're doing in the world? And this is key for all of us, no matter how dedicated you are in your job and how much you love it and what you do. These are important things for us to explore every once in a while to start changing the energy. And this ties back to Pat again. This may be something that you want to explore as well. Like, how do I want to feel? And so that feels really key, because getting in touch with that feels like it sets the foundation. It lays a very strong foundation for your next job. And it's so funny because it's almost like a magnet. I feel like once the foundation is laid, bam, there it is. So that's what they're showing me.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. And that's a great question for any area of our life, right? How do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? Oh my God, please forgive me. Agnieszka, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name properly. I apologize. But Agnieszka is asking how angels are connected to unicorns.
I mean, in the same way angels are connected to everyone, we all have our own angels. And one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had with angels and unicorns is when the angels brought through the unicorns that were exactly right for the whole group that had gathered to learn about unicorns. Like the angels were like, come to our space and we'll bring through the unicorns. So what I've seen is unicorns don't trust humans necessarily, with good reason. They haven't had good experience with humans. So the angels act as intercessors for us, and they trust the energy of the angels, and they will come through on the wings of the angels. And so if you do want to connect deeper with unicorns, bringing the angels in might be a way to get connected with more and to connect on a deeper level.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. Great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked that before. Patricia, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Theresa.
There she is, the walking miracle.
Hi, Alara. This is my first time on your show, and I saw Theresa was going to be on. I was like, oh, I love Theresa.
Oh, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Yes, I wanted to, Theresa, I wanted to ask you about something lately. There seems to be a lot of eye, like physical eye stuff happening, floaters and not seeing, kind of cloudy, whatever kind of thing. And I know like kind of metaphysically how that kind of, but with everything I've gone through in the last 6 months, it's like I feel like I am really moving into a place of seeing myself and the world in a different way. So I'm like, so anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there and see what you or the angels have to say about that.
Yeah, so there feels like a couple of different things happening here. I got to get comfortable for this. So one of the first things I see is that your connection to the fairies is opening even more. So I'm not sure if that's something you consciously are wanting to cultivate, but I definitely see this opening and expanding there. So if you're outside and you're seeing like those little pops all over, like it feels like those are your fairies. Yeah, good. So the other piece is it feels like you were doing a lot of spiritual work to expand your energy for so long, but there was also this real big worry that kept pulling your energy back. So it was like you would go up here and then it would just suck you back in because there were things you were dealing with. So what I'm seeing now is those things have been alleviated. So now you're actually making those jumps up to where all the work you've done has brought your vibration. And so sometimes our physical body takes a little bit longer because it's denser to catch up to our spiritual body. So it's like, the spiritual body is the lightest. Then we go into the mental and then emotional and then the physical, and then they, so it takes a little while. So this is what I see is your physical body is recalibrating to this newer, higher vibration energy. And so these are some things that are just happening because of that. And so again, like with anything, if there's any question and you just want to be validated that there's nothing going on, just go get it checked, and then you'll just be like, okay, I don't even have to think about that worry. You can throw it in the trash can and move forward. But I definitely see this being your physical body recalibrating to a higher energy.
Awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
And you're right. Eye issues have been going on for quite a while for a lot of people in the community. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because this is an awakening for the collective, right? And we talked about some of what's coming up where there is no place for shadow to hide anymore because of all the light, right? So there's also the question that we're asking within ourselves, what have I been refusing to see? What have I been blind to in my own life, in the collective? And how is what's happening now mirroring that within me? So there's an invitation for that as well. So there's so many layers to the eye stuff, and eyes are always about seeing. So, the first question is, what am I refusing to see, or where do I need to see more clearly? And then we move forward from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Thank you. Okay, so we are almost out of time. Was there anything else that the angels, Garen is asking, can we do a process? We did a group healing. I don't know if you missed it, but we did one with the throat chakra. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was so powerful.
So what I do see right now is Archangel Ariel she's the archangel in charge of laser focused healing, right? So she's very, very focused in her healing ability. And she's also the lioness. She's known as the lioness of God. And her energy is that of the lioness, where she is the protector of children and of nature and of the earth. And she will, just like a lioness, go from being a loving mother where she's cleaning her cubs to you mess with her cubs and she's going to step to you. She's going to be roaring in your face. And that's the ferocity with which she shows up. And what she's showing me right now is she's taking us all in circle and she's bathing us in her pink light of healing, in her pink light of purpose. And what she's saying is that you are the protectors of the earth. You are the protectors of all that is sacred. Do not take your work lightly. We understand the need for rest and we support you in your rest. Be sure that is part of your work. Be sure to do so. We will move you forward as quickly as you are ready. But you must allow, you must ask, you must be present with us. And now what she's doing is she's touching each of our hearts. And it's almost like there's qualities in our hearts that are being ignited. Ones that we didn't know were there, ones that we maybe just have been ignoring. Passions are being ignited that support our ability to serve the world. And now this big, it almost looks like where she is, she's above us, is like a circus tent of energy, pink energy. What it's starting to do is break off into pink bubbles. And each one of us is encircled in this pink bubble of healing protection. And she's saying this energy will continue to work for 24 hours in a way that is ease-filled for us to integrate so that it doesn't affect our well-being or our ability to show up and participate in our lives. And all she needs you to say, if this is okay with you, is either out loud or in your heart or in your mind, say yes. And if it is not, say no. It's okay. And she says, I encircle you in my love and protection. And we draw you forth into this new paradigm as the leader that you are. And then she's showing me each of us feeling alive, feeling joy, feeling vibrant in this new paradigm. And so that is the energy we continuously need to seek as we serve. Good. So just take a deep breath, bring it all the way into your first chakra, the base of your spine, and release from that place. And then one more deep breath all the way down through the legs, through the feet, into the core of beautiful Mother Earth. And then back up with the release. Good. Find yourself fully grounded, feeling your sitting bones on the chair beneath you. Coming back to the space and opening your eyes when you're ready, encircled with the love and protection of Archangel Ariel.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
So peaceful. Thank you. That was
Thank
awesome.
you,
I loved it.
Alara.
Oh, that was awesome. Wow. Thank you, Archangel Ariel. That was so nice. All right. So, wow, I can't even talk now. So this was wonderful. Of course, like I said, Theresa, you know, she always brings it when she comes to the show. She always brings it. And again, she, you know, was amazing with her, and the angels were amazing, amazing, amazing. The processes we did were amazing. We did 2 now, okay? So thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, I want to just invite you to work with Theresa more in depth, with the one-on-one session, with the group angelic support session, and with the course, the 3-part course. So please take a look at those. It's available at alara.at/show/Theresa5. All right, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Be gentle with yourself, right? This energy is feeling so nice, right? It's like I can't even, you know.
I can't speak either, so it's okay.
I can't talk. It's like, oh my God. So thank you. Yeah, so thank you everyone. Again, I'm so glad we're here doing another season. So much fun, and I'm so grateful that I get to serve and, you know, be with all of you. It just, you know, really fills my heart with so much love. Yeah, I like, how could I serve even more? You know, it's like, so thank you for giving me this opportunity. Denise, was there something you wanted to add?
One quick question. I meant to ask Theresa if she could check with the angels. I started speaking like different light languages.
Nice.
And I don't know really like if they're just for me, or if they're how to use them. You know, I can't translate them. I've
That's
heard, you
beautiful.
know, all light language is healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it feels like when you learn Reiki, where you use it on yourself first, and then it shows you how it gets used, and then it grows you in different ways. And that feels like how this is going to grow for you. It's for you first, but remember, healing and using it with ourselves heals the collective and ripples out to the collective also. And it feels like it will guide you as you move forward.
Oh, and I always seem to want to sing it.
Good, do it then. Sing,
Do it.
absolutely.
Instead of talking, I kind of sing it.
Yeah, that's fun. Awesome. And you know, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Denise, because like as we're all evolving, growing, you know, expanding, more and more of our gifts are coming forward. But the thing is, when these gifts come forward, it is about using them for ourselves, you know, and then when the time is right, you will automatically know when to share them as well, right? So, but start with yourself, start with your, you know, your house, your space, your pets, etc. Eventually they will go out to the planet. They already do impact everybody else anyway. So for all of us who are doing that kind of work, please keep it up, you know, keep doing it, send out blessings to the planet, send out blessings to humanity, to your loved ones, everyone. It makes a difference. It does make a difference. Keep sharing your light, please. Keep on sharing your light. And Theresa, thank you for sharing your light with all of us today and always. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Alara. It's always a blessing to be here.
All right, everyone. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now. Oh, thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
Laura.
Glenda.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Theresa.
Shama.
Love you guys.
Oh, love you too,
Thank
Shama.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Oh, hi. Yeah, namaste. I'm like, I don't see everybody out when I'm like doing the show, right? So it's like, oh, good to see you. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now. Oh, Denise, I know who you are. I just saw your picture and I was like, oh, I know who you are. Yeah. I'm a little slow sometimes. Okay, bye for now, everyone.